Joe Roti Roti talking about why Drana isn't seen in Standard. So why is this beautiful card, Drana, Liberator of Malakir, not seen in Standard as much right now, Joe?
Well, it has a lot to do with high expectation and then in reality not working out in gameplay. She came out as a very expensive card because she has some very powerful abilities. She is a card that when she attacks, if you have an army of creatures out, she will make all of your other creatures better. And at the time when she came out, a lot of people thought that she would be able to see play in sort of a black aggressive deck. But there was this card that was out at the time that is Mantis Rider. And the issue was that they were the same converted mana cost, so they came out basically on the same turn. And Mantis Rider, when it attacks, did not have to tap because it has the Vigilance ability. And that made it so that if they were facing against each other, Drana would have to try to attack through the Mantis Rider, and it just didn't work. It was also played at a time when mana was very versatile, so it was not difficult to cast the 3 different colors. And so Drana's value, and just like monetary value, dropped significantly. She started out at about $15 or so, and dropped down to as low as about $6. Now, when Shadows over Innistrad was announced, Olivia, Mobilized for War, was spoiled. And there was a lot of talk about how this combination, being able to play Olivia on turn 3, and then being able to play Drana on turn 4, and using Olivia's ability to give it haste and +1/+1, was going to make the vampire decks very, very powerful. And so Drana shot back up to about $15, which is where she's sitting currently. The issue is that this ability for Olivia, if you have to cast Olivia on turn 3 and then play Drana on turn 4, you have to discard a card to give Drana haste. And that discarding a card means that you're using a resource or something that is going to go to the graveyard that you get no value from. So you've essentially spent 2 resources, Drana the card itself and the discard card.
Even with Madness in the format, it kind of makes up for it, but not as much as it should.
Yes, the issue is that because you're casting on turn 4, you only have 1 mana available, so you have to have either a Fiery Temper or something else that just costs 1 more mana that you can actually do her discard outlet for. So even with Madness, as an aggressive deck is trying to attack on turns 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, to win quickly, it makes it very difficult to have mana available to use the discard outlet as a Madness enabler. A lot of the vampires cost either 2 or 3 mana, even for the Madness cost. So you can set it up in the perfect scenario, but very rarely does the perfect scenario ever happen. The other issue that we have right now is that another card has come into the play, and the Archangel of Tithes is another card that is fighting Drana, very similar to what happened with Mantis Rider. Archangel of Tithes is a 3/5 and is 4 mana, so even if you get a +1/+1 counter on Drana, you're not able to attack through Archangel's 5 toughness. And a lot of decks have gone to now only playing 1 or 2 colors, and so the 3 white requirement for Archangel of Tithes is not something that is difficult to cast. So Drana has seen an enemy that has ousted her in both last standard and right now in this current standard. And until black-red vampires could find a way to kill Archangel of Tithes very efficiently, Drana will continue to not see play, unfortunately, even though she is a very powerful card.
Maybe until the next set in the Shadows block, the Eldritch Horror, possibly?
If Eldritch Moon brings out something that allows black to exile something very efficiently, especially with a high toughness, then that gives Drana a chance to see play before she rotates out. But it's going to be very difficult. Archangel of Tithes does rotate after in 6 months, and so Drana has 1 more chance to see play at that point. But by then it might be too late. There might be too many other cards that have come out. The other issue, I did not bring the Always Watching, but Always Watching allows the white decks to add +1/+1 and give Archangel of Tithes Vigilance, which makes it a 4/6, and then it does not have to tap to attack, just like Mantis Rider. And so white has had creatures that have been in the air that have been able to attack and block at the same time, and that's always foiled what Drana's been trying to do.
Yep, because no matter what, you always have to tap her.
Yep.
Because there is no way, I believe, for black permanents to get vigilance.
Not without playing white of any sort. So that's given Drana a very difficult time. And even though she shot up in price with the release of Olivia, thinking that it might be a viable option, it is still not proven to give her any abilities in Standard, unfortunately, because she is a very powerful card, just has not seen a home in either Standard, last or current.
Yep.
Unfortunately, she is going to probably sit on the sidelines again and not see play.
At least for a little while.
Yeah.
Not as long as there's those pesky white angels and white human knights.
Yeah, as long as there's big white flyers that are efficiently costed. You know, this requirement of the 3 white is supposed to make it difficult to cast, but going back to mono and just 2-color decks has not made that a restriction, and now has been very easy to answer what should be a powerful combination. One card can hold back both of them, which makes it very difficult.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe Roti Roti.
You're welcome.